it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you for joining me again today. Today I have got a project that uses the Beauty Abounds bundle that is on page 13 of the Spring Summer catalogue. It is huge. There is this gorgeous stamp set, she says, trying to grab the gorgeous stamp set, which has got all sorts of bokeh dots, it's got sort of sploshes, it's got some lovely sentiments, and then some little butterfly and sort of frou-frou stamping. The sentiments are, now I have to read this in the right order, a friend is someone who chooses you out of a whole world of people. Our friendship isn't one big thing, it's a million little things, and then there's for you, hello, and thanks, and I'm going to be using thanks. And then you bundle it and save 10% in doing so with the, whoops, Butterfly Beauty Thinlets. Look at how many there are. There are 20 dies. These two big ones layer on top of each other, but you can use them independently. But you've got a butterfly a die to cut out this butterfly, and a die to cut out this butterfly, plus some foliage here and here, little butterflies to actually die cut separately. These you can actually cut. There are 5 butterflies attached, but you can actually separate them. So gorgeous, gorgeous set. And if you were to buy this set as a bundle, as I say, if you use the code for the bundle, which is 150617, you will automatically qualify for a sale-a-bration item, and of course that will include the second release sale-a-bration items, which are in this brochure here, which you can get a PDF version of this off my website if you go to current offers. Just click on the picture that looks like this and it will show you the PDF. And there's a stamp set and a beautiful textured impressions embossing folder, which are both level 1, plus this bundle, which is the stamp set and the paper, which are a level 2. And then there's the other items that we've already got. Remember that the organdy ribbon is no longer available, and that Grapefruit Grove and lovely lipstick foil sheets and the Precious Parcel kit are both limited stock, and this one's not far behind. The Botanical Butterflies, not far behind. Anyhow, the card today is quick and easy to put together. It does use both the bundle and the, sorry, it uses the whole bundle, but it is a fairly quick card, and you could leave this out, which is the only die that I've used. But I thought it was a really pretty spring-like card, which, if you're in the UK at the moment, we have got spring-like weather in that it's sunny. It's just a bit cold still. So I am using Basic Grey as my stamping colour, and I'm just on a piece of Whisper White. Don't worry about dimensions, as ever, they are always on my blog post, which if you're looking at this through YouTube, you will find my blog post just by opening the description bar and follow the link that says associated blog post, and there it will be. So I'm then popping a butterfly up there and another one, twisting it slightly so it's not quite the same angle there. I have already stamped and die cut the one that is going to go over the ribbon. Oh, and I need to do my sentiment, which is just thanks, and that's down in this bottom right hand corner. So that's that. Now I have got I don't know why I brought out the Flirty Flamingo pad, because I'm not using it. Oh no, I'm not using it, so I'll put that to one side. I'm just using Basic Grey, so let's not confuse myself. I'll put it away. I am using the combo of Flirty Flamingo and the combo of Granny Apple Green for the colouring. The colouring is really very straightforward. I will zoom in a hope that you can see. This is where I then have to know where I am. Okay, so the flowers, I'm just following the veins of the flowers with the dark Flirty Flamingo and kind of putting a splodge in the middle just so there's a bit of shading. You don't have to do this shading bit. You could just use one colour of Flirty Flamingo, but I've got both, so I thought I'd use them both. And then that's that. Oh, while I've got it out, I'm doing dark Flirty Flamingo on the larger pattern of the... This is where I have to hope that the whole thing is in camera. Yes, good. I have to stand on tiptoe to find out, because as I stand to craft, my whole desk is raised up, which means that in order to see my camera, which is at my head level, I have to sit on tiptoe, or stand on tiptoe rather. And then I'm using the pale, or the light Flirty Flamingo for everything else that is butterfly and flower. So as I say, really easy colouring, nothing complicated, but I think you will agree it is a really pretty final card. Now you could use the brush tip end, which I would probably do for that area if it weren't for the fact that I'm going to be coming in here as well. And I like to do kind of swirly colouring when I'm putting in the second colour, because that helps blend the first colour. Basically you're trying to get alcohol into the mix, because that's what helps blend. If you hear any crashing and banging coming from outside, that is my husband, who is pruning the apple trees, ready for hopefully a better season of apples this year than we had last year. Because we had very, very dry weather last year, we didn't have a particularly good apple crop, and it was very, very early. So, yeah, it was all a bit odd. But hopefully we'll have a more sensible summer this year. Don't get me wrong, I like the hot weather. We just had rather a lot of it very early on, and it did have its impact on the fruit and veg harvest. So again, with the dark granny apple green, I'm just coming in and following the veins of the leaves, and it's just to give a bit of shading. Again, if you didn't have both colours or didn't want to use both colours, you could just use one. You could use your Stampin' Right markers, just be careful that you don't over colour and end up pilling the cardstock. By pilling I mean oversaturate with water, because obviously the Stampin' Right markers are water based, not alcohol based. And if you go over the same area too much with the markers, you'll find that the fibre of the card will break down, and it'll look like, you know, bobbles on an old jumper, and it's not an attractive look. It becomes rough as well. So that's that, and I am going to come in and just shade these in as well, or colour these in as well, because otherwise I think it just looks a bit odd to leave them white. And you could get into the whole doing, you know, alternating light and dark on these stripes, but life is a little too short for some things. Right, before I go any further, I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of grid paper, and I've got a Flirty Flamingo Stampin' Right marker, and I'm going to add some spritzing, if it will, oh, got to get the angle right, just to add a bit more something. I picked that up from Dina Rico over at the Creativity Cave, and I love it. You could, of course, use the, if you wanted a bit more, you could use this stamp here, and what you could do is stamp that and then put your die-cut butterfly on top, which would be quite cute. However, I'm not. I have got some, not very much left, some of the Flirty Flamingo ribbon from the Meant to Be lovely, can't remember what it's called other than it's at the front of the catalogue, All My Love ribbon combo pack, and it was because I had this left over, as it were, that I decided to use this colour combination. So I'm just going to grab some tear and tape, and I'm going to have a couple of not particularly long pieces. And I'm just going to add those either side on the back, because that's what I'm going to stick the ribbon to. And if you use your bone folder to actually stick those down properly, it makes it a whole lot easier to lift up the backing. Kind of went over the edge a bit there, but that's fine. So that's the backing off, and I will need to cut another piece as well, but all I'm doing is I'm going from, I have to get the angle right, from the top of one piece, cross over to the bottom of the other piece, and then just trim that end off. Famous last words. Somewhere I have buried my scissors, and guess what? I actually tidied up my desk. I know it's under the card base. I know it's miraculous that I have actually. Oh, and I've just realised we're zoomed in still. Let me zoom out. Sorry. Oops, she says zooming in again. There we go. So hopefully you saw that I spritzed with the Stampin' Right marker. I will add a little bit more, just in case you missed it. So in fact, I'll take that out of the way. So all you do is you get your Stampin' Right marker and you go into the cap and spritz. And you do end up with a bit of ink around the top of your cap, but it's a lovely effect. And as I say, courtesy of Dina Rico over at the Creativity Cave in the US. That's where I came across it first. So just cross that over. And it doesn't really matter where that cross is, so long as there is a cross. I say that you could just use one piece. You don't have to use two, but why not use two? Right, before it gets any older, I'm going to add that to my mat. As I say, all the dimensions are over. Ooh, bit of card. That's fine. It's hidden. All the dimensions are over on my blog, so don't worry about those. The link to that is in the description bar, which is below this video. Right, now, here is the one I die cut earlier and coloured in earlier, and all I'm going to do is pop a dimensional on the back and pop my die cut where that cross is, for no other reason than it seemed like a place to put it, and then half a sheet of A4 scored down the middle, and that will be our card base, and then a scribble of glue on the back, and oops, get that out of the way. Makes it so much easier to stick things down if you're not trying to stick them on top of your Tombow lid. That is our card for today. So, I hope you enjoyed that. It's just a fun card, useful to use at any point, you know. These are the sorts of cards I like to have in my stash, because there's always a time to say thank you, or just because, or for, you know, that sort of thing. So, anyway, obviously you can change the colourway, use different ribbon. The ones that I think would work really well with this are either the current in colour, the new in colour grosgrain ribbon, or the sheer ribbons. So you've got all the what I call new in colours, which are Grapefruit Grove, Lovely Lipstick, Call Me Clover, Blueberry Bushel, and oh, Pineapple Punch. And then in the sheer ribbon you've got Calypso Coral, Fresh Fig, and Old Olive. Oh, and Whisper White, of course. So yes, so you could change the colourway and just use a different ribbon. We've also got the narrow Real Red ribbon, so just having a look and seeing what we've got. Oh, and there's the Coastal Cabana and Copper from the Tea Time suite, which is in the annual catalogue. So any of those would work with this narrow crossing over in the middle. or just replace it with any other ribbon. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, I would be thrilled if you would. I'm trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of sale-a-bration. I'm at 5,900 and something at the moment, so you know it's within spitting distance. But if you could help me on the way with that, that would be fantastic. When you shop with me, do remember to use the host code. Then you will not only get to share in the host rewards, you will also, for every £30 you spend on my online store, get to earn sunflower rewards. So once you've got 10 sunflower rewards, you can exchange those for up to £30 of product. So just another way of me saying thank you. Whether you use the host code or not, everybody who shops with me gets a thank you card and thank you gift, and those are sent out kind of the middle of the following month. So anyhow, thank you very much indeed, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye!